Good evening, YouTubers. I'm up late tonight and I'm doing a bit of swatting, ready for my prison live, which is going to come up in the near future. And I was looking into the judiciary and victims of the judiciary, surviving victims of the judiciary, in fact. Now, as everybody knows, in the UK, the judges work for the Crown Court, the High Court. They've all got the authority of the King. Because the King in the old days, the Solomon, he used to do all his own trials, but there was just too much, and he just thought, I'm going to appoint judges with my authority. So this is the judges who sentence people to death with the authority of the Crown. So it's the King sentencing you, but this is his person. And probably the most notorious judge in British history was Judge Jeffreys. You can Google him, he has a wiki page. Now, they called Judge Jeffreys the hanging judge because he pretty much hanged everybody, didn't give a shit, right? And he was judged for the most unpopular king ever in British history, which was James the Second, who was deeply, deeply unpopular. I have mentioned him recently. And James the Second was so unpopular that they ran him out of town, okay? Traitors plotted up on him, and they replaced him because he was not only unpopular, he was a Catholic, and they actually changed the law after he went to make sure that no Catholic could ever get back on the throne. It was that much of a problem. So anyway, Judge Jeffreys was bosom buddies with James II, and he became the Recorder of London. You can look that up. It's a rank that the judges have, and he was just hanging everyone. And James was like, "Oh, good on you, Jeffreys! Tap, tap, tap. Throw you a gong, knighthood, that sort of thing." And it says here, and I'm referring to his wiki page, because I can't remember all this. He became the Recorder of London. He was knighted in 1677 and became Justice of Chester, Ludlow, Justice of the Peace, Flintshire, it goes on and on and on. Lord Chief Justice, he became the man. He was I think that's the main man. The Lord Chief Justice, Lord Chancellor, the bloody assizes, and he's just there like, death, death, death. What are the charges? Death, death, giving it all this. And anyway, I'm going to cut a long story short. Everyone was so sick of his boss, James II, that William and Mary of Orange came across from the Netherlands with a huge army, and it was called the Glorious Revolution. And the army landed on the beaches at Brixham, and they marched towards London, and everyone was so chuffed to see them. They thought, oh great, William and Mary, they've come to get rid of that king that we all hate. Anyway, they all marched towards London, and James II pulled his skirts up and ran away. James Stewart. And he went off to Ireland to raise a Catholic army and demand his crown back. But William and Mary were both crowned as king and queen. It was a joint sovereign, not just a queen consort or a king consort or a prince consort. But it was actually the only time it's ever happened, because Mary was the relative, but she was a Protestant. So her husband, who was also the king anyway of Orange, they were king and queen. King Billy, who crossed the Boyne, that's another story. So they're there, yes, we're king and queen now, and Judge Jeffreys is there. He's there. I'm the big cheese, mate. I'm the justice of the. And he suddenly realised that everyone was coming to get him. So he just hid. He just hid, and he disguised himself as a sailor, and he was recognised in a pub in Wapping, okay, which is London somewhere. And I would just wind it down. I don't want to give you any duff facts. Here he is. Yes, he was hiding in a pub, dressed as a sailor in Wapping, now the town of Ramsgate. He was recognised by a surviving judicial victim. I like that. Surviving judicial victim who claimed he could never forget Geoffrey's countenance, although his ferocious eyebrows had been shaven, part of his cunning disguise, you see. You'd think we wouldn't recognise him with that big silly wig on, but if he took his wig off, you'd think, who are you? I don't recognise you. Anyway, he was a target, and they dragged him off to prison, and he begged his captors to protect him from the mob, who wanted to show him the same mercy that he had shown to everyone else. So in other words, they just wanted to string him up, preferably by his ghoulies. But no, they locked him up in the Tower of London, where he drank himself to death. He had some sort of kidney disease, and they gave him a barrel of brandy to drink, and he drank it all and died in the Tower of London. So he came to a sticky end. But it just goes to show, you know, these people who just suck up to the king, because it's like a pocket judge, isn't it? You know, obviously, if all the judges work for the king, the crown, they're not going to investigate the king and the crown, are they, and find against them, are they? Because it's their boss, isn't it? And no more knighthoods to be had. So it's a sticky wicket, really, isn't it? So that's a good example, I think, of a pocket judge, someone who was just doing the bidding of the king at the time. And what's changed? You know, the judges today follow the bidding of the king, or are they independent? Are they really independent? I mean, they'll say they're independent, of course they will, but are they? You know, this is whenever there's things involving the crown, they're very, very, very reluctant to go down that avenue, aren't they? Because they know they will be criticised, for sure. But I like that. I like that phrase. I definitely like that one. Surviving judicial victim. Spotted the judge and had him dragged off to jail. Thanks for watching. Good night, and may your God go with you.